Good evening, folks. Howdy, one and all. Welcome to the show. I'm going solo right now. Maybe one of my co-hosts will appear shortly. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Looks like we've got 5 people watching. Welcome, one and all. Charles is out there saying evening to all. Hello, Charles. I responded back, hello, Chuck. Welcome, my friend. He says, the ship miniature, the model reminds me of a small version of the Prinz Eugen way back in the day. Back when I built all sizes of plastic models. And John Longshore gives us the speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. And Dave Hall says, hello. Well, hello, Dave. Thank you for joining us. And Charles, that's actually the USS Missouri, painted up as she was seen afloat during the end of the war, of World War II. And yeah, it's a 1/2400 scale miniature made by GHQ back when they were only like $13 for the capital ships. Now they're something stupid, I think close to $20, I think, for the capital ships. It's ridiculous. Crazy talk. Anyway, but we're not here to talk about World War II naval miniatures. We could. I got plenty of them to talk about, plenty of them to show off. But actually what we're going to talk about tonight is how do we get out of our way when we are hobbying? And what I mean by that is when you get either overwhelmed or you get to where you just don't feel like modeling or feel like gaming or feel like researching. What can we do to get us back on track? And this is a topic of interest to me because there's been a couple of, since I started wargaming back, well, my first real war game, of course, was Fastest Star Trek, the ship Tactical Starship Combat Simulator, if I remember it correctly. Purchased all the way back in the mid 80s. So, it's 35 plus years since I purchased that. But there have been times when I didn't game at all. And when I mean times, I mean years that I didn't do it. Let's see, John Longshore. Yeah, my uncle, born in 1917, was the physical training officer on the Missouri. His best story was that they sat in Tokyo Harbor for 3 weeks, scraping, painting, and slaving. When the ceremony came, all hands were locked in stowage, not to be seen. Yeah. When you got the high muckety mucks roaming around, you don't want the commoners to be about, I guess. But it's what did I do to get myself out of that rut? And honestly, you have to look to see what put you there in the first place. You have to think about why you don't want to game or model or do whatever. And in many cases, it was I just didn't have the opportunity. So if I didn't have the opportunity to actually play a game, because that's what the hobby is for me, is playing the game. Without playing the game, the rest of it is pointless. I'm not a hobby painter. I don't like to paint, as most of y'all know. I paint because I have to. I paint because I want nice looking models to be on the table. So I make sure that I've got all the equipment to paint, but I'm not going to be, oh, I can't game, so I'm going to go ahead and paint. Well, if I'm not gaming, why paint? Now, I would still, read books. I hate reading the rules, though. I despise reading rules. The shorter, the better. But I will read about certain topics. John says, I would think we all want to game model, but lack of friends and opponents will force you to move on and hobby something else. Very true. And that was the case many times. Now, I do know a lot of people that they don't have opponents. Mini Warmutt's perfect example. He's out there in Arizona, doesn't particularly like the game stores that are around him for various reasons, and from what I've heard him talk about, I don't blame him. But he loves building terrain. Well, he used to be a fine scale modeler. He used to be, made 172nd airplanes and 135th tanks and that type of thing, just to build the model. He had hundreds of model kits, and he started watching Rocky's show with us, and he decided, hey, I want to give this gaming thing a go, and he started playing the games. But there's not, he doesn't have any opponents out there, so although he can't end up, he doesn't game with other people, he decided to take on solo gaming, which, I could have done myself. But again, a lot of my downtime was before we had the internet, before we had social networking like we do now. So there was a lot less interaction. If there was someone literally not around to play with, there was no one around to play with. I couldn't reach out to anybody to do that. So, a lot of solo gamers today have that interaction that, back in the day we didn't have, which is good. That keeps us from getting into those doldrums more frequently. So that turns out to be a good thing, and it helps drag us out of that. Hey, buddy, you want up here? Are you gonna just sit? Come here. If you just sit up here and you be a good cat, you can be up here. All right, I dropped something. You made me drop something. What did I drop? Oh, I dropped my back scratcher. What are you doing? You're causing issues here. All right, back to the show. Sorry about that, guys. You know how the cat is. This guy right here, Clark. Yes. So anyway, yeah, John. No internet in rural route number 5. Very, very much so. So getting out of that lull, getting out of that funk, getting out of whatever it is that made us want to set it aside for a while, can be, if it's a social aspect, you can reach out to others a lot easier now than you could before. So luckily we have that. One of the biggest reasons I stopped gaming is I had gotten so burned out on working on my own rule system. Back in the early 90s, my best friend Chris Copeland and I, excuse me, my best friend Chris Copeland and I decided to take our efforts of building our own war game in World War II naval combat, and got it to the point where it was a playable game. Took it to a convention. People fell in love with it. Got to the point where we were the following year at the same convention. The convention producers contacted me and said, "Hey, we've had so many requests for your game. Can you add more time slots?" Sure, absolutely, I can. We've got so many requests. Can you add an additional table? We have so many people wanting to play the game. Sure, I guess. But it was just constantly, always in my face, always, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I got burned out on it. I literally said, I'm going to set you aside. What are you doing? You wanted up here. I brought you up here. You got off. Now you want back up here. You're just messing up the show. So, I stepped aside. I set that aside in the late 90s and stopped gaming altogether from about 1997 until about 2005. There was other mitigating circumstances as well, or extenuating circumstances as well, that kind of fed into that, of a personal nature. Not going into grisly details, but one marriage fell apart and another relationship started. So, there was that. Let's see here. Panzer Scott, any of you all going to Historicon? Not this year. I believe McMurray and I are planning a trip out that way in 2022, either for Historicon or Fall In or Cold Wars or one of the big HMGS shows in 2022. That's our goal. That's what we would like to do. And Peter says hi, buddy. He says hi. Yes, love on my arm. You're a good cat. Do not destroy my shirt. Why? Good Lord. All right. Well, Steve, I'm solo tonight except for this thing. Yes, this thing right here. McMurray should be on shortly. That's part of the reason why I started at 8:35 tonight. And I think I'm going to start, having my show at 8:35 instead of 8:05, just to give McMurray more time to get home, and I'm not flying solo so much. Dave says, I built tanks and planes like MWM, moved into 54, mini Warmont, moved into 54 millimeter figure painting 1700 warships. Family came along, etc. Eventually 28 millimeter came along. Yes, you're welcome, Steve. You're welcome. But what got me back into playing, or back to gaming this go round, is my current wife. We had moved from Kansas City and down to Austin, and she said, why aren't you doing your hobby? You have all of these models, you've got all of these ships, you've got all of these toys. You're not doing anything with it. Why aren't you? And I said, well, frankly, now I don't know anybody. She said, well, go find a store. And in Austin, there were plenty of them at the time. There was in 2003, 2004, which is when I was getting back in there. There was, let's see, Great Hall. There was Thor's. There was Ninja Pirate. There was 4 or 5 in the Austin area that I could get to within 30 minutes from where I lived. So I sucked it up, went in, started back playing with 40K 4th edition when it was just coming out, and met one of my closest friends now. They're in Austin, and we started playing, and it turns out, hey, this is kind of fun. Let's see what else is out there. We kind of got tired of going and playing at tournaments because we were constantly losing because we weren't min-maxers. We didn't power game. And he had said, what would really be cool is if we could find a game that, did World War II. And I said, oh, well, have I got the game for you? And showed him in our little group Flames of War. And so we got into Flames of War heavily, which led me to the historical game store. And that's where everything just took over for me. And I'm, back to where I am now with all of my gaming. John says, my games went storage mid-'80s, wife, work, kids, divorce, no money, etc. Did Yu-Gi-Oh! With kids in the early 2000s, but retirement 3.5 years ago, started playing again. Well, that's good, good, Chuck. I'm glad that's worked out for you. But, even short little periods of time can be difficult to get back. Buddy. I've even, being back since 2005, there have been times where I've just had no motivation to do anything. I've got these 2 printers here. I've got my big FDM printer. I've got my resin printer, and there have been times when I've had no desire to get anything going. And primarily from that is because, well, something's gone wrong and I'm just frustrated and I have to stay away. Because it is just so, but I've got a project that I'm working on that I'm really excited about. My brother's got a project that he's getting excited about. And so I had to do some repairs on my big printer. Why are you biting me? I had to do some repairs on my big printer, my FDM printer. Got those done this afternoon, and it's up and running right now. It's going. I'm doing a test print to make sure everything is working well with it. It looks like it's doing beautifully, so I'm back up and going. Joanna says, hi boy, hi gatito. Well, hello. Thank you for joining us this evening. My resin printer, I've got a failed 1/300th scale C130 sitting in there that I need to remove from the build plate and get some other stuff working on it. I'm looking at getting some more 50s, early 60s aircraft jet aircraft like the Venoms and the that style of aircraft. The Cutlass, um, the Navy Cutlass, those types of aircraft, because I want to use excuse me, Fistful of Lead starfighters to do jet fighters. So because I love fighter jet aircraft games, and I think Fistful of Lead will do the job very nicely. So, but I want to do aircraft that are, not especially well known, from the 50s and 60s. So I'm going to be getting rid of that off of the build plate here soon, and start printing some stuff up to see how it goes. Also thinking about 6mm tanks. These are M1 Abrams that I found that I in Mesh Mixer added a base 2. So unfortunately the barrels are a little sad. I think they've got medication for that. And as y'all see, Hex to Hex has joined us. Hexabilly.
Gentlemen. Hey, let me do a shout out real quick, Najee, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of our followers that pops in and out of here, the old Chestnut. I don't know if he's on here or not, but he shot his first video, posted on YouTube. So you guys go to the old Chestnut and give him a shout on his first video.
The old Chestnut.
Let me see. Matter of fact, I can't post a link. Well, yeah, maybe I can.
Let me look it up.
All right. That old Chestnut. There's no T in the middle of Chestnut. Oh, here, I got it right here. Actually, I got her right here. Let me see. Yeah, he sent me a message tonight or in Discord. And I said, you know what? We probably need to go take a look at it.
So do you have a?
Yeah, I got it right here. I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Okay. And there's Mini Warmutt. Hello, Mini Warmutt, who has posted a video showing how to play, or not necessarily how to play, but how he plays Fistful of Lead, Wasteland Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the table, looks very nice there, sir.
Thanks, man. It's fun. I'm having a blast.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, sounds like it's wearing you out.
I'm just a little tired. So,
you extra taco tonight?
No. I think we're just doing. Wife's tired, and she's just gonna do chicken and rice.
That's what I had for lunch today.
And that's kind of my fault dinner here. Chicken and rice, whatever.
I don't know if that thing came through or not. Can you guys see that post I put on there?
No.
Even Steve, Chuck, how you doing? Johanna?
All I need is see comments.
Dave, Peter.
Steve wants to know what figs, Warmutt. What are you using for figures?
Oh, well, the Warmongers are your good old 40K orcs.
There you go.
And then the Warmutts, they're all Reaper.
Okay, cool.
Reaper minis. So
now, are those Reaper minis the metal ones, or are those the bones with the craptastic?
You got it's mixed.
Resin.
It's a mix. I got some metal. I got and then one of them's actually from the robots from what do you call it, Blackstone Fortress, and then the others are all Reaper metal. The only metal one's Glade, and the others are just your bones. So little mishmash of everything. So
cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Again, like I said, going into round 5 here, and it's starting to get crucial. I threw in a couple surprises there, and I really hope the die roll will help me out on it, because one of them will be just hilarious if it happens. So if not, I'll just hold it off for next report or something, whatever, another battle. So
Well, there you go.
Why can't I share a channel? It's not
I don't
coming
know.
through.
I don't know. Send it through through Facebook, and I'll see if
Yeah.
I can
Let me send it to you.
send it through Messenger and see if I can't get it.
There you go.
Copy,
oh,
paste. There we go.
Couldn't do it.
John says, I was looking at Historicon, but need to look at Amtrak schedules. Harrisburg too far. King of Prussia, no station. Philadelphia. Well, I would prefer to live. Fair enough, sir. And then there's that site that he is that Hex to Hex has talking about. Actually, he's got 2 videos up now.
Yeah, I think one's from Kevin and
3
Tony.
months ago.
Yeah, Tony's board live. I think he just copied one of theirs over.
Oh, okay.
He's
But
just getting
Antietam
started.
damn near killed him. Nice.
And
Nice.
he
I'll have
speaks
to,
good English.
So what we're talking about tonight, guys, is what happens when we no longer feel the motivation to game.
Oh God, you just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's kind of close to some of our hearts right now.
Yes, it is.
And I thought it'd be a good topic to discuss.
Thanks. Chuck.
Now, board gamers, I think, have a similar mindset as miniature gamers sometimes. So that's why I'm glad you're here, Jeff. So you could, maybe talk about, sometimes that you've kind of fell into a lull and what you might have done to get yourself turned around. And Charles says he subbed.
Good job, Chucky.
You know what? So did I.
Good job. Appreciate that. Let's get him started.
So, by the way, folks, I'm up to 41.
Sweet.
I'm not anywhere close to what Mr. The Wardrobe plays World War II is with his almost $2,000.
Yep, he's just about there.
Yeah,
He's been on here for years, man.
but 41. You know what? I think if I hit 1,000 before the end of this year. Excuse me.
I was gonna say what?
100. Sorry, 100 before the end of this year. I'm gonna figure out something and get it sent out. Maybe it'll be a Star Wars miniature that I paint and I can send out to somebody.
There you go.
So because that shouldn't be too expensive if anybody wants to watch. Anybody that watches from overseas. If I draw their name out of the hat. So there's the deal, guys. If I can hit 100 followers, 100 subscribers by December 31st, 2021, I will draw one name out of all of the subscribers, and they will receive a personally painted Star Wars figure by me. How's that sound? All right.
John Longshore, if you okay, so all those locations for Historicon are within a couple hours of me. If you come up Interstate 81, you're going to drive right by my apartment going to Historicon. So bring your happy retired ass up here to Pennsylvania, because I've never been to a conference, and I hope to God I want to see WBC happen. And these guys are all talking to me about Historicon. Would y'all say next year? I think.
Yeah, McMurray and I are planning on one of the big shows in 2022, whether it's Historicon, Fall In, or Cold Wars.
What's Cold Wars? I missed that one.
It's a March, April timeframe game.
And where's
Not
that at?
game. They're in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Around that area.
Right.
So, hey, you know what, John? Here's the deal. If you decide to go at the same time that McMurray and I go out there, we will find you at one of the train stops and get you to the convention. We'll make that happen, brother. Pancho says, I plan on hitting up Historicon this year. Last time for me was 2017.
When is it this year, Scott?
It's November. Normally,
Really?
Historicon is in July.
Maybe I'll get my first pop then.
There you go. By the way, we've got 10 viewers. Thank you, one and all. It is greatly appreciated. I do not say this with any sarcasm or any trepidation. I love every one of you guys, like brothers from another mother. Y'all are the best. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of the things that is keeping me motivated to gaming. Where Historicon is, damn it, I can't remember. Panzer Scott, you got the deets on this. It's November 10th through the 14th. Where is it? If you could pop that up there real quick. And then John says she'll be coming with abundant luggage. You know, not what you ask. How was your suspension? Just kidding. That's understandable. Anyway, but doing this channel and doing the shows with Matt has kept me going. There have been times when I really didn't want to do anything hobby-wise, but we were going to be doing a show talking about something or talking to someone, and that got me pumped up to be working on things again. So, doing the YouTube thing has really got me pumped up to be in the community, to be in the working with everything. The other thing that pulls me out of not wanting to do something is when I get I'm going to be perfectly honest, new Star Wars models. I'll go for a little while. It's like, I don't want to paint this, or I don't want to paint that. I've got all this stuff to paint, but I just don't feel like it. Ooh, new Star Wars model. Okay, I'll paint those, and that just leads me down the rabbit hole of painting other stuff. It's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, at the Valley Forge Casino Resort.
King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Steve says same here. Yeah, Steve and I are simpatico. I mean, we both love Star Wars. And if y'all watched last night's show, we talked a little bit about, and it's something that we had talked about on Matt's show also, the Ramble, is 3D printing and Star Wars miniatures. I have, God love him, Jay Wiley. He did an amazing thing, and he came out and printed. Let me embiggen myself here. He came in and sent me, I think, 30 or so Star Wars models that he printed for. He printed up. So I've got all these guys to paint. Got, Death Troopers here. So, that's what's really gotten me excited now, is being able to paint up these guys. I'm let's see here. Charles says a bit far for me to walk. Yeah, just a bit. It's just on the other side. Shoot your right camera, press your new location for me. It used to be always in Lancaster. All 3 shows used to be in Lancaster. Then, for whatever reason, maybe they got too big or whatever, they decided to move them around some. Yes, Hazard Troopers. Very, very cool dudes. John says, if you get to 100, I'll throw in a prize. I have a storage unit full of prizes that maybe I can remember getting, but probably not. When I go, it's always Christmas. My tree is even set up inside. Very nice, John. I appreciate it. What get me out of the rut is one thing kits of odd and unusual airplanes. I can't resist.
Hey, check it out. 2 of my out-of-print hit list games that I won. One just got resolved tonight. Somebody is sending it to me next week for my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
I'm going to get Battle for Normandy, so I only got one other game I need to track down.
How old?
There you go. And Charles says, I'm at home and just to get to 30 by the end of the year.
Chuck, you took a step there the other night in the right direction when you did that. You did that thing on Facebook with the pictures. I love that. Now you got to put the fabulous text to it that I've seen you do. That's gonna start pushing you over the top.
Panzer Scott says, I preferred it in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I've been down there in a while.
Steve says, I painted my troops red. That's cool. There's a great model engineering show in Lancaster every spring. Oh, nice. So, but yeah, the thing that will always drag me back, kicking and screaming to game, to model, to do whatever, is Star Wars. Yet another shirt in my large pile of Star Wars shirts. I literally, without exaggeration, I can go 2 full weeks wearing a Star Wars shirt and not wear the same shirt twice.
I used to be like that with hockey jerseys.
I'm maybe close to 3 weeks at this point in time. When I go to Disney World with the wife, and sometimes with Jay and the kids and his wife, I don't take any other shirts with me but Star Wars shirts. I don't. When we buy shirts there, I don't buy any other shirts but Star Wars shirts. Star Wars is life. So it will always get me out of the funk. Failing that, Cold War Gone Hot. I love Cold War Gone Hot. And probably it's because of that's the time frame that I grew up. Teenager in the mid '80s, or from 1983 to 1989. I was a teenager. My dad was in the 49th.
Cool.
Yep. My dad was in the 49th Armored Division in the National Guard. I lived in San Antonio. I knew for a fact that if Commie Joe let fly, I had about 35 minutes before I was vaporized and nothing more than, small atoms and molecules burned to a crisp.
And I had 1 hour to get from Mannheim, Germany to Fulda Gap.
Yeah. Well, and my dad's capstone mission was to support First Armored.
Ooh.
That was going to be going to Fulda. So, I just knew it. But because of that time frame, I studied it. So it's I don't know it as well as probably some people. Even on a civilian level, I don't know it as well as some people, but it intrigues me. It gets me very interested in the time frame, so I very quickly will, decide to game. I can very easily game that time period. Some here somewhere. I don't know exactly where my models are, but I've got I've got a couple of battalions worth of Soviets. I've got them painted as the Czechoslovakian army. I've got a company's worth of M60s. I've got a company's worth of M1s. In 1/300th scale. I told my dad, I got to see my dad this weekend. He's on his way from Texas to Minnesota. He stopped in and visited with us, and I told him that at least I'm going to in scale, not in scale as in 2/20th, but in scale 1/600th. I plan on doing a 1-to-1 1-to-1 army of the 49th Armored Division, the whole division, at least the very minimum, the combat arm, the tanks and the howitzers, and the vehicles directly supporting those missions. So like the Deuce and a Halfs pulling the 155, so and the self-propelled 155s, etc. John says I could really get into Star Wars, but I'm terribly anal button counter. I'd have to have 5 books of uniform details. John, they're out there. I'm going to be perfectly honest. They're out there. Steve says, seeing the vast amount of STL figures out there now for anything you can think of keeps me going. The files are dirt cheap. Yes, they are. Yeah. That's for instance, one of the models that John sent me, or not John, damn it, Jay sent me was this one right here. Hera from Rebels, and I mean, very well done. Very scales very nicely with the actual Legion miniatures. And I think there's two different STLs for her that you can buy, and they were like $4.50, $5, and then you could print as many as you wanted. These guys here, I think there's like 5 or 6 different poses, and I think it's like $7.50, $10 for all of them, and you, again, print as many as you want. So Peter says Soviet jet interceptors are fascinating. Love the look of those monsters. Yeah, the F-35 F-25 Foxbat. I always thought that was an interesting aircraft. In fact, I haven't printed the Foxbat, but I did print this guy. And then painted him silver. This is a MiG, I think this is a 21.
Hell, I don't remember. We used to have the playing cards they used to give us to memorize Soviet aircraft and tanks. And
so MiG-21, to scale, 1/300th scale. Steve says, and a good gaming crew keeps interest as well. Absolutely, it does. I'm lucky enough to have fallen into even though I live out here in the sticks and we're forever away from every damn buddy out here. I'm an hour and a half from having contact with anybody of gaming and gaming related with Matt and McMurray, and then I'm 3.5 hours from Jay's group. But now that I have Saturdays off, guess what? I'm going to be able to hop on over to Kansas City more frequently and get some gaming in. So John says, my only thoughts on that, 3D printing is basically you need companies to keep the hobby alive. If they are put out of business, doing cheap figures is a hazard. Support your guys, said nicely. So that's going to be another show. Yeah, we've talked about 3D printing before, but I think it would be a good discussion to discuss exactly what you're talking about, John. Not just talking about, what cool things we can do with 3D printing, but how it is affecting the hobby. So in fact, that might be next week, John. We'll find out about that. Peter says, "Ooh, cool airplane. Thank you. I printed that on my my resin printer." And it says, "If it flies and can't take a joke, it dies." Well, there you go. And then those companies need to adapt to the new technology. Again, next week, next Wednesday, I think that's going to be our topic of how 3D printing is affecting the hobby. Not necessarily what 3D printing can do for us in the hobby, but how it affects the hobby. I think that's going to be a good episode. So, John, thank you so much for that idea. That's appreciated. And guys, please, let me know if y'all have a topic that y'all want to discuss, or you want me to just, BS about. So, because as you can tell, I can talk about any damn thing, and I love the sound of my own voice. So I can talk for decades. But I do have a question for you, Warmut. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Have you, since you decided to make the switch and become a wargamer, have you fallen into a time where you just had no desire to game yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I just recorded my first solo here and stuff, and I'm having a blast.
Outstanding. So. And that's what I love to hear. And before you came on, I was actually talking about how you switched from being a model builder, a scale model builder, to a gamer. But you don't have anybody around because you don't necessarily like any of the stores that are available to you.
Yeah, I jumped in it late. I mean, I'm 47. I got in this one when I was 46. So, I don't have any. Well, you know what I mean.
So the old guy.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that I have. Obviously, I don't have anybody. And then I went to this couple game stores. It's a typical, young guys and stuff, and then the old part comes in. Whoa, what the, I said, you know what? Solo's going to be my way.
Yeah. So, and we will get you out here so you can game with us, at some point.
I got news for you. You come to West Virginia, hang out with me, you're never going home.
So now I'm having a blast, and I'm doing that 5 parsecs too, and I'm starting to write out campaigns and storylines and stuff here.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Pinch Scott says, I got sick in 2018 when working for the Army in Germany. Ended up getting a new ticker. Couldn't do really anything until late 2020. I got 2 years of backlog to catch up on, plus all the new crap.
Yeah. Hey, I know when I came back, Jesus, it had to be more than, God, I mean, well, seriously, it had to be more than 20, 25 years. And I didn't even know what MMP was, yet I had a game in my inventory from them. I had no idea what. Well, I saw the gamers on it, and then I eventually got that out and play. And then, like I said, after I played that game, the next night I bought the entire series and dumped $3,200 on it.
Good Jesus, man.
Well, that and a couple other things, but I bought all freaking, I don't know, it was like 12 or 13 or 14 games in that freaking Civil War Brigade series.
Yeah.
So, man, I tell you, I've been going through a funk over the last like 3 weeks where my heart and my brain are like, I can't wait to get home and play something. Get back in here and get on to, I got the OCS Smolensk stuff or get one of my big old Civil War games up. Just dying to play. And I had 3 games on the table that I was excited to play. And my body just said, no, we don't want you to.
Yeah.
So finally.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about the physicality of doing it. I know that when I caught the COVIDs, it was there was 2 weeks straight where I was horizontal,
right.
And it took a bit for me to get back to wanting to do anything. And John said LGS equals Pikachu comes with 5 millennial subject matter experts. True that. And then LBW Strategy Gaming. Yo, fellas. Yo, back, sir. Yo, back. Thank you for joining us. Oh, crap. I'd have to shovel out all the manure to get to the sludge to even get to the crap in my storage unit. And there's Wardroom himself. My lesson from that was life is short and I need to get her done. I'll play video games or read to recharge. And you know what? That sometimes is, just get back to doing something that's not work related.
I don't know how to read, so I'll just play games.
There you go. LBW Strategy Gaming, you betcha. So, Todd, how are you today, sir?
Lovely.
What do you got there?
This
What's
is
that,
the
Todd?
this
And
is
why are
the
you in color?
this is the massive play aid for Goss.
I need to order. Oh, I need to pull the new ones are in. Aren't they in Lucky Forward? Didn't they put? Oh,
I think so. This right here, not Jan Warmut. I meant to have it printed double-sided, but they didn't get my order right. That's fine. Ready? This is the sequence of play for a game.
oh, was that thing? You already had that printed up?
Yeah.
Jesus. What
See,
the
you
f-
guys
Hold
want
on.
me to try this?
Look at that. Sequence
That's
of play.
like that shit's like,
Hold on.
what is that, an 8-point font?
Hold on. We're not done. Hold on.
Steve. I sent it to him too, but he already had one made up.
Hold on. Oh wait, hold on, Jay. We're not done yet. Hold on. Oh, okay. That's the. Oh no, it's not the last page. Okay, that's that. Oh no, shoot! I really did think that was the last page.
Damn, dude. It's no wait. But wait, there's more.
Okay, hold on. I do think yes. Okay, there we go. But now hold on. So let's look. That's the sequence of play. This is a chart, and then page 2.
Jesus, man.
Okay, hold on. I got 3 copies of those accidentally, so that's cool. And then here's the rule book. Obviously we won't flip through all the pages.
So
80 pages of that.
Good Lord. So LBW Strategy Gaming says that's the mega SOP I sent you, Jeff. That's a detailed step by step, though. You can't miss any steps with that. You'll love it. GOS is an excellent set of rules. At least the last version is. Okay, what is GOS? What does it stand for?
Grand Operational Simulation Series.
Okay. And what is that map?
This is Koln, this is Aachen, and Hurtgen Forest.
Okay.
Two
So we're talking World War II time frame?
We're talking World War II time frame.
Very nice.
West Front only for the entire series.
See,
It's a good looking map. I like that map.
The maps are excellent. Sorry, it's not focused in.
he's showing you guys the maps and all that stuff. I'm looking in the background, looking at that foam, and like, ooh, I can make this. I can make that.
Oh, speaking of background, I don't know if you can tell, but this here,
Looks clean.
The reason why it looks clean is because that's a piece of plexiglass.
Oh.
My new job had this up sitting in front of my desk to separate me from
Bitters.
yeah. Keeping me safe from the COVIDs. And they said, just take it down. You know, we're not going to worry about it anymore. Just take it down and pitch it.
Where'd you get the picture of my first wife on the wall?
Oh, my javelina? that was given to me by my aunt.
You know,
Now, Peter, the Lucky Ford has all the newest stuff, charts and rules for Goss.
John says, flip slower. I need to save the pages so I don't have to buy it. Nice. Yeah, that's the 11 by 17 chart. I can send you that too, Jeff. Great one to start with. I cut my teeth on that one. Please do, Steve, says Jeff. Peter says, I only have the D-Day Goss. I want to get Lucky Forward next. And then Jeff, he has sent it to you.
Got it.
But so yeah, I've got that big piece
That's pretty awesome, that plexi.
that is what, about more than 5 feet tall, maybe 6 feet tall, and about 30 inches wide.
You have a table it'll fit on?
And then I got this piece also.
Look at this. He hasn't even worked a week there yet, and he's already freaking bringing home treasure chests.
Yeah,
Look,
well,
it's got handles on it.
Yeah, it was hung up. It was hung like this.
You see that little video where Nick Rosser put those little things underneath his plexiglass so that a piece of plexiglass so he could put it over top of his games and the cats couldn't get to it?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
So
Yeah, you're right, Peter. I need to go look and see what I'm missing. But hell, Steve will send me everything. So
I'm looking forward to Medward.
yeah, it goes out tomorrow overnight.
the rules are online at Decision Games. You need to wipe the snot off the little one. Yeah, well, you know, it's probably cow snot, truth be told. And then I need to get some plexiglass for my IKEA glass cabinet to make some shelves. There you go. You weren't on here, Todd, so I don't know if you heard, but if I get to 100 subscribers, I'm at 41 right now. If I get to 100 subscribers by December 31st, 2021, the end of this year, I will do a random drawing and someone will get a painted Star Wars miniature from me.
Ooh.
So
Charles, I would but you know my sentiment on that. They're too damn expensive for those games. They're good-looking games. They're just too damn expensive, in my opinion.
Mister, I just told people I spent $3,200 in one sitting for games.
That was a year ago.
I've repented of that sin. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Nut Jay. I know you'll hit that soon.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm nowhere close to your near 2,000, but
Yeah, I'm 11 away from 600.
He booed earlier and said if he gets to 1,000 by the end of the year.
yeah, I said 1,000 by the end of the year. I was like, no, that's not right. That's not the number I had in my brain.
Pretty big.
And then Steve says, "Good to see you, Todd."
Oh, thank you.
And I subbed you long ago, or I would.
Oh, excuse me.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
Basically, what Nut Jay's asking is everyone go create 5 fake accounts, 5 accounts, and go sub them all to him, please.
You know, whatever it takes.
Todd@gmail.com, read@gmail.com, itinerant@gmail.com.
Yeah. So, by the way, the old chestnut is now up to 5 subscribers.
Woohoo!
Yeah, y'all get him up there. Go over there and pop on there for him. And
Yeah.
So, Jeff, I did I did give him a hard time about the vertical video, but I told
I
him
saw your comment. Yeah.
That's okay.
I hope he takes it the right way.
So,
Tell you, he's
Todd.
just a younger John Longshore.
what do you do to get yourself out of a gaming slump? What is your go-to? You know, I want to get back to gaming, whether it be miniature or board games. What is it that you do to get you out of that slump? What's your go-to? What's your thing? Like I said before, mine is Star Wars. These little guys.
Little guys.
What's the thing that if you want to get back into it, but you just can't? And
That's a tough one. I don't know if I'll have to think about that a second. I don't know if I have a go-to because I definitely had them. I definitely had funks or droughts,
a slump, if you will.
if you will. Let me think about that. Let me think about why or how.
Todd doesn't slump.
By the way, Steve, yes, 268 is a nice number. That's
You just need one more, bro, and you'll be 269. Steve, I just unsubscribed from me.
He's at 269.
Woo!
Another cardboard push racker harass.
You're borderline cardboard there, brother.
nah. He's 270 now. Oh.
Zombified's really a board game.
Well, I know that one of your loves is World War II, being that's the name of your part of the name of your channel. Is there a particular part of World War II that really gets you geared up?
I got to say, probably some of it is just time and getting away from it for a little bit, and so that kind of gets me, makes the heart grow fonder type of thing, and probably seeing a movie or TV show or reading a book, listening to a history book or something. Probably.
Okay.
I think that's probably what really motivates me to get back to it. I would probably also seeing a video that happens to. Kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool or something like that. I think that's probably what does it. Because I think usually when I burn out, I'm spending too much time with it. I know that sounds weird, but
yeah, and
maybe obsess a little bit or something, and
yeah, and sometimes a self-induced slump. Just a step back for a little bit is sometimes needed to, come back stronger.
I think you put a little pressure, especially if you're doing YouTube stuff, maybe a little pressure to keep going and doing stuff when maybe you really should just kind of step back.
Yeah.
I'm excited about getting to 2,000, but I obviously don't do what I really need to do to really grow the channel. Honestly, and when I've tried that, I usually burn out. So that tells me, that's not how I should be doing my channel. I should be just kind of doing it like I've been doing it, just shooting vids when I want to and being goofy. And when I start doing production, I start to kind of
Yeah.
it could be life stuff also puts me in a funk. I had a little
Guys, it's chow time for me.
What?
Chow time for me. I gotta go.
All right. Take care, more.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody. Be safe. Don't get too hot.
I'm trying to figure out where I got all these subscribers today, and I just found out how I got them.
How's that?
Chris Ridley posted in Consum World. It's titled Hex to Hex, an Appeal A subscription drive. Let's get him to 1,000. I kept wondering where I was getting all these. I got like 16 today sitting at work this morning.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's funny. I had a little surge. I think it's because Big Board put some on his feed.
Yeah. Steve said, wasn't trying to beg, but thanks. Sometimes I just need a break from all the technical reading and just watch some game videos or documentaries. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's probably some of it too. That's why I think it's good to have a game that's you kind of know and you don't have to think about as much. Like for me, it's probably Blitzkrieg Commander. I don't really have to think about that a whole lot. I can kind of just play it.
Yeah.
That's kind of good because right now I've got Battle for Normandy, ASLSK, and I just put up just like someone else. I just put up Standard Combat Series. I'm a little concerned that I might. That's not hard. That's not a difficult system.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned that I might kind of get a little distracted, and I'm not sure which is better. Maybe I can ask you guys this. Which is better for you guys? Having three? I actually have 4 games set up on my table. Actually, this is very interesting. Battle for Normandy, SCS, miniature game, ASLSK. I'm a little concerned that I may not get any of them played. So, which is, I mean, Jeff, you always have a bunch of games up. I guess
you see where that led me this past week.
Well, right. That's what I'm just saying. Like, is it better? Is it better just to play a game and get it done?
Well, okay, so so if I have to vote option A, multi games, or option B, focus one, I'm always going to vote A because if I get bored at looking at one, just go to a different table.
Yeah.
This has just been a unique 2-week period for me where the heart and mind wanted to play and the body wouldn't let me.
Yeah. And I think that can cause burnout too, or you interpret that as, this hobby, and really that should be interpreted as like, hey, you just need a break from it. You know, you're enjoying golf right now, and it's summer, it's nice to get out. Yeah, just take it, just do that. But I think Jay, you don't have multiple games.
No.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Steve.
Yeah,
Jay, you don't typically have multiple games set up, right?
No. As a miniatures gamer. And there's Mick Murray.
Hey, I
sir.
don't know anybody else is in here. How are you guys doing? Sorry I am obnoxiously fucking late.
That's okay. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Shut up, Todd. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Kidding, I love you too, Todd.
So,
look at the next comment from Steve. I'll wait for you to say what you're going to say, not Jay.
Yeah, as a miniatures gamer, for the most part, this is the way we work, is we set a game up, we play the game, we take the game down.
Yep.
Because majority of our games are designed to be played in
one sitting,
2 to 5 hours.
Yep.
Now there are some games out there, games that I don't play, like Amarillo Design Bureau's Star Trek.
You just brought up a very valid point and a question that I have to ask.
Starfleet Commander?
Yes. Well, not Starfleet Commander, Starfleet Battles.
Okay.
Starfleet Commander is their pared down game that still takes an ass long time to play.
Right.
Starfleet Battles, also better known as Starfleet Accounting.
Yeah, finish your thought.
That's a game that could be set up and played for days.
Right.
And I've known people to do that, and it's just obnoxious. But so, yeah, it's a little different for miniatures gamers.
Yeah,
we set it up and we take it down.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, McMurray. Just a question.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I'll wait.
No. McMurray first.
No, I was just saying that I think I've only played in 1 or 2 games where the objective was not for it to be done by the end of that session. You know what I mean?
What were they? Do you remember?
Even if it was a day. What?
Do you remember what it
What
was?
were the big ones? One was a Great Big Fire and Fury that was the entirety of Gettysburg. One was a huge game of Post Captain, which was
Hose Captain. What?
Post Captain is from Old Dominion Games. It is a Napoleonic Age of Sail rule set
Okay.
that you can do anything with.
Cool.
But it's got crew allocation and all that, and it's not a hard game to get a hold of. It's just one of those games where you really don't want to be managing more than like 3 or 4 or 5 ships.
Yeah.
And we were playing Trafalgar with I think 5 players.
Oh.
It was kind of one of those, oh, this is brutal. Yeah, because we had Spanish and French, three players, like they had 3 admirals, and then 2 British admirals.
Wow.
So it was just brutal. I'm trying to think of what the other ones were. I don't know. It's been so long.
Steve says, I think I got about 12 going on Vassal.
He does.
Gamer ADD.
I couldn't remember all those rules.
No,
Yeah,
I know that's the thing. So, Hex, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so I'm wondering here because I know, okay, so obviously we know I do this. Todd's capable of doing this. McMurray can do this. Where, and I know there are probably some of y'all in chat, they're the same way. You have the ability to set up a game and you can leave it in place for long periods of time because you have a place to do that. And I keep asking myself is I walk back there to play and I'm like, oh, you know what? It'll be here tomorrow. I'll go do something else. And then I don't get enough played because of that.
Whereas if you had to play it.
Yeah, we're kind of, you know, I keep thinking about Kitchen Wargamer. Where he puts up on his kitchen table. And he has to get that stuff off of there, and so he plays through that stuff, you know. And then, like I agree. I've only played the 2 tabletop games with you guys on here, and I learned that right away. That these, other than these, I mean, I didn't even see these guys play these massive Gettysburg and Waterloo games, and they're done in a day. Playing these big old things.
And that's the thing, though, is that those games, most miniatures games that you play like that, are designed for God knows how many players, right? There are some miniatures rules that are not designed like that, but they're rather few and far between.
Especially nowadays.
The Basement Generals did it.
No, I got you. But again, they had a bunch of guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say about, I did set up a huge command decision scenario. I was going to play it in Blitzkrieg Commander, but I'd been building to it and for years. Building up for it, finally got enough miniatures. I didn't have all the terrain, but I got close. I got it all set up on this 8x6 table. Finally, I had played like the first half a turn. I'm like, this is too big.
Yeah.
It's going to take me forever. It would have taken me a long time because it was like, I don't know, 15, 20 turns, a lot of pieces on the board. And I thought, okay, I like this. So I like smaller miniature games. Like I'll even play 4x4, 3x3, something like that.
Yeah,
I think
part of it's the game design too, because a lot of times when you get big games like that, they're games that are designed to be played in a short amount of time, but you overload them with stuff. Like that was the issue with that Fire and Fury game. Fire and Fury isn't a necessarily quick-moving game, but it's also very definitely, you know, a scoped game. Like every miniatures game has a scope. There aren't many miniatures games you can just keep infinitely adding on to without adding obnoxious amounts of time. You know what I mean? That's not really a thing. The other thing that I've run into with miniatures is oftentimes with miniatures games, you're going somewhere and doing something, right? Like you're meeting at a shop or you're going over to somebody's house and playing.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of miniatures games are not designed for solo play. And so the nature of the beast there is, you know, you can't, you know, just do that. I also have known people who play with their brother or their roommate or their dad or whatever, and they leave, you know, games. I will come back to this next weekend and stuff like that. But that's far more rare, it seems like, than with board gamers.
Yeah.
I get amazed when I see these guys that play a big ass monster game that, I mean, you know, that is a 3-day, you know, game, or game time is a 3-day or a 2-day event. And they play the thing from start to finish in a weekend, you know, 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like in Phoenix or that small private one I go to here, they played that big GCA CW campaign over 4 or 5 days. Clay played Atlantic Wall. I didn't finish it, but they played several days or whatever the turns are. I don't know. Several turns, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Um,
in the
I don't know.
miniature. Oh, sorry.
Well, I don't know how we got off this subject from Chris's original. Oh, you didn't ask McMurray your question. Not yet, anyway. Your premise. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm going to run through these here real quick. Peter says only one game at a time. No room or desire for more. ASL is nice for short setup gameplay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Hexy says got 2 ASL starter kits now, Peter. Steve says DBA 2x2 board in an hour or less sometimes.
I would like to try that sometime, but I wish there was a different game.
Nice.
But I know DBA is great for
Yeah,
that.
love DBA as an intro to Ancients. And then Chuck says, I got the room and have had 3 games up. Too much distractions, 1 game at a time from now on.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
So,
it's quite better.
so McMurray, the actual topic for tonight is what, how do we deal with a slump in gaming? And not just, it's more of an idea of what is the one thing that will always get you going again? What like, I've said it many times. I've said it many times tonight. These little guys right here.
Star Wars guys.
Star Wars guys. If I'm in a funk, if I'm in a slump, and it's like I don't want to do anything in the hobby. Not just game. Not just I don't want to game. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to paint. I don't want to read rules. I have no motivation to do what I love to do. What is my stress relief?
Jesus, that's fucking dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have.
I've been there.
Another incredible stress relief method, if that's what you're worried about, that I can recommend to you. That's easy. You can solo play it.
No, McMurray.
What?
He's talking about shooting pistols.
Yeah, I'm talking about shooting. What the hell's wrong with you? You're not supposed to. God.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Mind out of the gutter. I hadn't even brought up porn yet. Like,
I walk away.
Oh, you walk away? So, okay, Jeff will be back in 5 minutes.
5? Wow, that's pretty good.
So, I think I've talked about this with, I don't know how many, or I've talked about this a number of times on different, I know with Todd and other folks. Oh, God damn it, Jeff. Anyways, I just lost my train of thought on account of the fact that Jeff's a dick. So what motivates me, what gets me back into it now, which it used to be with miniatures, I just randomly have like a couple weeks, sometimes like a month, where I just fucking wouldn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like it'd just be, I don't want to do any of this shit, And sometimes it'd be because I had been forcing it with getting, I had something to do on a deadline and I kind of overdid it or whatever. And sometimes it'd just be, I don't know what, I just didn't feel like doing anything, which really is a bummer because I've been in this hobby for 24 years out of 32, probably closer to 20, but either way. Point being, it's a bummer when what you love just isn't entertaining anymore, right? That sucks. Yeah. Especially when, when you're a kid, it's not a huge deal, right? Because oftentimes it's just you could do something else. But as an adult, especially when you got a lead pile that you're staring at, it's like, wow, I want to be productive. I feel the need to be productive. My time is limited. Also, I have this massive pile of shit that I'm just not doing anything with. That's frustrating. But what has worked for me, especially over this last year and change, and Todd's about to know exactly what it is I'll switch from miniature gaming to Hex Encounter.
Yeah.
Right? So I was in a big slump last fall. right? COVID sucked. I hadn't played a game in, 6 to 8 months, just a game religiously, at least 1 or 2 times every week. But since 2012, I had played with the same group of guys every Tuesday night for a good amount without fail. Like I'd miss weeks every now and then, but I played with those guys every week. And so not being able to do that sucked. Like that really took a lot out of my enthusiasm, my love of the hobby, the whole thing when COVID hit. And then Todd, being the very caring man that he is, encouraged me to play Hex Encounter War Games. Find stuff that I enjoyed in Hex Encounter War Games. And, I played a little bit of Stalingrad Pocket too. I played a little bit of, I played a shitload of Bastogne. And I played some other stuff. And, all of a sudden I was ready to go back with miniatures. I wanted to build some Bastogne miniatures, which was a cool, that's cool. So that's, directly credited to me playing Bastogne is I got a bunch of Bastogne miniatures and I wound up painting 80 something miniatures in a month and a half. That and, we'll get to the next thing in just a second here. And so then, it kind of goes in spurts on each side. Also, my weekends are kind of weird. I don't usually during the week, a lot of guys will, they have time to fart around an hour or two after work or whatnot. That's not super duper a thing for me just because of how my schedule is set up. So again, when I'm sitting here not doing things on those 2 or 3 days that I got off, it really pisses me off. But then it generally leads to my last, night off being quite a bit of hobbying.
Yeah.
All of you guys have seen that. Guys who've watched me get on here with Not Jay have seen that. Like, it's just plowing through stuff, Like, what'd you do last? Or what, the best way to see it is to look on my Discord thing on the Rockies War Room channel.
Right.
Because it's super obvious what nights I have off. Because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm just posting a shitload of freshly painted miniatures.
Right. And you've got so many more you can do now because you've got 500 bases.
Yeah. So now all that 15 millimeter is just getting crammed onto bases for all the love in the world. I just put 50 something World War I guys to play not a huge bigger battles game, but a slightly larger, bigger battles game that's just weird. I don't want to say weird World War II or World War I, but maybe ahistorical World War I would be a better way to put it. But so that swapping up, getting a little bit of variety in there is a huge thing for me, as well as just in your hobby having a little bit of variety, right? Like I didn't want to play World War II, so I put Heights of Courage on the table with Hex Encounter stuff. I didn't want to fart around and miniatures. Jesus Christ, everybody here knows how terrible I am with miniatures, which is just a disaster because there's way older guys than I am, retired guys around St. Louis who are like, yeah, so what's your thing? What miniatures do you like? And it's, oh God. This is going to be awkward. Why don't you ask me something and then ask me what scale I play that in?
Right.
So I have a fucking problem. Yeah. And then before I realize I've just rambled for a while, but the last chunk
that's okay
for stuff that always motivates me is kind of group projects, right? So when I'm painting something and somebody else is painting something and there's a goal there, there's an end game, right? Like I'm painting this for a game that I want to put on, or, Todd and I, we painted up 15 millimeter forces to play the Two Fat Lardies pint-size game or pint-size campaign, taking the Jean Blow Gap. That was outstanding. That was one of those, this is fun, this is awesome, I have an end goal, I have a reason to be doing this. Bam, let's paint. and it doesn't always need necessarily to be that much of something. But that's a really good way to get me to knock out a project.
Yeah.
Kind of like there were a bunch of guys around here who wanted to play Epic. Bam! I knocked out a whole bunch of Epic stuff. Right? I need to prime. I have printed just beyond an ass ton of Imperial Guard that I need to prime and paint. But also, problem now, one of the guys that plays Epic around here, one of the big guys that plays Epic, is kind of a dick. No desire to play with him. All of a sudden I got this shit and it's like, well, I don't want to do anything with this. Shit.
Now I need to talk to you offline, McMurray. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably do.
Hey, Bunkhouse Games, that's a new one to me. I've not heard of him before. Sorry to interrupt him.
Yeah, that's okay. He says, my biggest gaming slumps come from friends not wanting to play the games I'm interested in, and I can't convince them to even try them anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, that is difficult, but, sometimes you just got to keep weeding at them.
That is the ultimate bummer, and I know that feeling quite a bit, and it sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, and Hex... Jeff pipes in with, I hear you, Bunkhouse 3 of the 4 I can play with locally don't like what I like.
We need Steve to live near us, man.
Steve says during COVID he switched to D&D. Yeah, the Bunkhouse Generals went to D&D because they could play online a lot easier.
I know a lot of guys who did that.
Steve says, the other Steve, LBW Steve, Bunk and Hex, that's why I like Vassal. There are like 2 guys in my area, and they can't stand some of the stuff I love. The only problem I have with Vassal, and it kind of, I would do Vassal. I would probably still do Vassal because we do the online, Fistful of Lead with Matt. It's I love the the tactile feel of actually moving the miniature or moving the token or the counter or whatever myself.
Amen, brother.
I like building that world. I like being able to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Bunkhouse says, I'm lucky that there are finally a few people in my area who are actually interested in the games I am. It's refreshing to see people moving away from GW. It is. I have to say that I was able to get when I lived in Austin, I got my entire gaming group weaned off of 40K.
Look at you go. I love
GW, is that Gamers Workshop?
Idiots that I play with all are into 40K now.
Yeah. Steve says he loves Epic. That is a cool game. I do love it.
This is why we need LBW to live near us, man. He's like us, man. Goss, miniatures.
Love Epic Solo also.
You could teach me to Goss?
Totally agree. Face to face and touching the pieces and seeing the whole map is best. But as a backup, love Vassal.
Yeah, I mean, LBW, he lives kind of in the boonies, man. So, and how cool that he gets to play a guy in New York that's a super complicated system. And so McMurray, we could play use your Epic and use Future War Commander.
Yep,
that's fair.
Or you can teach, or you can teach me Epic. Because I heard a lot of people like Epic.
Or
I don't even really like Epic, to be honest with you. I was about to say let's just use bigger battles.
Oh, exactly. You play you're in Fargo, dude? Oh man. My dad just got today got to White Earth Lake. Just north of Detroit Lakes in Minnesota. Spent so many summers up there, spent so many days at Hornbacher's. Grocery shopping.
Looks like you need to go back.
Love Fargo.
Play LBW in some games.
Never want to be there in the wintertime. Ever.
Steve offers me a job at his store. I'm moving.
Yeah, you could help him run a store.
There you go.
That'd be awesome, dude.
When I'm ever back up visiting, we need to see if we can't hook up and have a beer or grab
LBW's a
something.
nice man. He's not into hookups, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, like, get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm not proposing live on YouTube that somebody hook up with you. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What the hell's wrong with you, son?
Y'all are ridiculous. Anyway,
Ridiculous.
You hearing this? Are you hearing this, Jeff?
I'm listening.
I
And
told my
eating.
mother about you, not Jay. Jeez, Lou.
I'm thinking it's in my brain for the last 10 minutes. I'm going to go. I'm going to turn this conversation like 180 degrees.
okay.
That's good.
Go ahead.
You've got a new name for your channel, all right?
Yes.
Now we need to come up with a name for this show since it's going to be regular.
Okay.
Not
Eat the
J
boogers with
the Not J Chronicles.
Well, there you go.
Chronicles.
See, every time I hear
I can say it, but I can't spell it.
every time I hear someone say Chronicles,
CHRONICLES.
all I can think of is a bunch of guys sitting around getting super high, which would be entertaining.
That would be chronic.
Yeah.
Not chronicles.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Hey.
So yeah, I mean there's a lot of different reasons why we get into a slump. There's a lot of different reasons on how we get out of slumps. And for each one of us, of course, it's different for each one of us. We kind of know what we need to do. And the good thing that I think we personally have is that we have a good group of friends that we can reach out to, or reach out to us. Hey, you haven't been active recently. Everything okay? Everything's cool. No, I'm just not feeling it. What can we do to help? So that's really good. And it not just for gaming, but just for our own mental well-being. You've got to have that support. Everybody has to have a group, and if I'm part of that group, if part of your weekly agenda is to come and watch me talk about stupid shit, then thank you. Thank you for having me be part of your your group, your thing. John says, I've played Decision Games War in Europe on PC a few times online. My problem with most of them is they're unsocial as all get out, want to win at all costs, and after a few turns they can just piss off. You know what, John? I have that in real life. In Austin, there's that's what got 40K got me back into gaming after my 7-8 year hiatus. But it also what got me to game other stuff were jackholes like that, win at all costs. Peter says, I don't do Warhammer, but I do collect the Adeptus Knights since they are big and I like the looks of them as simple models for the desktop. Peter, what a great game to use to play with those models is. I can't find it. Oh, it's because it's in my bag.
Peter,
You get some comments tonight, not Jay.
if McMurray showed his face on camera, he can't because he has an agreement with Fabio, since they look so much alike that only one of them can show their face.
Not exactly, but okay. But yeah, to play with those Adeptus Knights.
This doesn't work, Jeff.
Right there. That's what you want to be playing with those guys right there. Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes. It's a great book. It's a great game.
Jay teased that Big Stompy Robots version as well. He had a cover.
Yep.
Which I know
is
it's
it
one of his passions.
Strike Suit Alpha or whatever the hell it's called?
No idea, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was coming around the bend at some point in time here.
Yeah. Have you guys had any success doing any camera-based mini games where you can play face to face? I'd love to figure that out. Tabletop Simulator is just clunky for me. So again,
Hell
we've
yes,
played Fistful of Lead, where the one of us has the game set out in front of us, and the rest of us are sitting like we are now. And we tell the one guy who's got the table in front of us, I want to move this miniature however far in this direction. Another game that's really good for that is Two Fat Lardy's What a Tanker.
Yep.
So we've done that as well. It can be John, but there are some great guys to play with who enjoy the game and teaching, etc. Nice eye, by the way. What are you doing?
Thank you, LBW. Refilling my paint cup.
Oh, okay.
Now he's a
Fine.
hero.
Oh, no.
Peter says Galactic Heroes. I will look that up. Yeah, it's at wiley-games.com. Fistful of Lead.
Great success. Go do it,
Great
Peter.
success. Steve is one of the basement generals that plays with Jay Wiley.
Oh,
who
Steve's
is-
here. Hi, Steve. What's up, man?
Yep. And Jay Wiley is the
Sorry, I didn't mean to
mastermind
interrupt you. I didn't-
behind all of the Fistful of Lead games. Great stuff. He says it's coming. Battlesuit Alpha. Yes. Big Stumpy Robots. If you've got a crap ton of Battletech or a crap ton of Cav Strike, whatever it's called, and you just can't get around the rules for whatever reason, Battlesuit Alpha is going to be right up your tailpipe.
Dude, Jesus.
Yeah, right up your alley.
Why do you keep
So-
opening the door for him?
God damn. Like, he's been hanging out with you too much. Ugh.
And Steve says, "Hey pal," to you, McMurray. So
Yeah, that's because Steve's awesome.
And you know what? Honestly, what has really driven me to keep going in gaming and to actually really got me back to wanting to play games.
Your brother?
No,
Your mother?
she's dead.
Jay.
Thanks
Right
for
here.
bringing that up. Jay Wiley.
Jay Wiley.
Look at that
And-
collection.
Yeah. So for those of y'all interested, for those of y'all that are in the know, this is a standalone game.
Standalone.
If all you want to do is play in the amazing year 12,000 and have your laser guns and your bioscanners and your psionic powers and the whatnot, go with this route. Also can go with starfighters if you've got a crap ton of
Anything.
spaceship fighters,
Or
aircraft.
Victorian airships.
Yeah, Victorian era, sci-fi Victorian era ships, big battleships, etc.
World War I dreadnoughts, pre-dreadnoughts.
You can play it with this. Then, of course, if you're all about the historicals, boom, horse and musket.
I'm about to say, just the
I need
core
to
rule
go
book
and
will
buy
get you playing enough. It's insane.
Oh yeah, the core rule book itself.
Like anything that you want to do with any of these systems,
You can do with this with imagination. This is all you need.
Oh, shoot.
This is
Yeah.
all. And
there's
Jay
some
Wiley,
stuff that Starfighters that's helpful.
yeah, Jay Wiley will tell you that if all if you've got the imagination, this is all you need. But if you don't have the imagination, or you're lazy like some of us are, buy this and then the supplements. This is not a supplement. This is a wholly set of rules. It is beautiful, by the way. It's absolutely gorgeous. Full color. If you ever get a chance to play Fistful of Lead, Horse and Musket with Chris Clucky in his 54 millimeter models. Let me embiggen myself here.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, look at that.
I was about to say, not Jay's.
Those are 54 millimeter models that are just amazing.
Or as I like to say, gorgeous.
Look at that. I've played with these models,
I bet you have.
and
They
are amazing.
The tables themselves look pretty amazing too.
Yes.
You can kind of tell there, but they don't do them justice.
Um,
They're zoomed in.
I'm
I've only
going
seen a
to
picture.
stop on this one when I see the word fistful and apply the word imagination to it.
yeah, I can only imagine women. Nice. Now, if you love gothic horror, vampires, werewolves,
Come on.
Or just monsters in general.
monsters in general, tales of horror.
I'd like to say something before you move on.
Go ahead.
No, show that. I keep showing that picture. I mean, look at that. You know who drew that picture?
Jay Wiley.
I assume Jay Wiley or one of his friends, right?
No, that'd be Steve.
Steve did that one?
Steve
Two
did that?
action Steve. Yeah, right there. See.
Man, he drew that whole picture in 2 actions. That's damn impressive, Steve.
So these are just a couple guys we know, man, doing this stuff. Their work is amazing.
Or if you're like Thundar the Barbarian or Mad Max or whatever, Wasteland Warriors. Gotta love that.
I will definitely be playing irritated Max games. In the future.
Viva la Revolucion, Wargaming supplement for the Mexican Revolution.
I'm surprised McMurray didn't play that one. That
Also
sounds like a
has-
McMurray game.
I was about to say it also has just kind of Mexican games all the way through, like Pancho Villa. And
Yeah.
that's just a scenario book.
Yeah.
It's really
Hey,
good.
real quick, Charles Latorre had a good comment here that I think Hexy would like.
Let's go.
Second to last one.
Yeah. Other Steve says 12,000. I ring to it or not. Has anyone ever heard of miniatures and rule system called Anima Tactics Cypher Studios? I think I'll follow this stuff, and I'm tired of looking at it. I have not, but we can talk offline, John. I can only imagine women. Well, there you go. Rough crowd. Yeah, it is a rough crowd, but
Wait,
you know,
who can only imagine women? We talking about Fistful of Titties again?
Panzer Scott. Steve says I
Jay and-
did.
Steve were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. Monsters in general, does that include ex-wives? Yes, absolutely. There's ex-wives
That's
in
the
there.
Hex to Hex supplement. Fistful of Hex
Hold
to
up
Hex.
that magazine
Fistful of
again.
Ex-Wives.
My first wife is the second one on the left,
This one right there? Yeah.
Ugh.
and all of the rest of them are the top one.
Blood-sucking creatures. Yeah.
The succubuses.
Yeah. Suck your bus.
Again, Fistful of Ex-Wives is
Peter
the
Bergs, I thought you were an ACW guy. Why did I think that?
And Steve Willard says it does. Yes, it does include the ex-wives. And then if you're wanting to play, so the deal with Fistful of Lead is you range anywhere from 3 to 8 models per player. Averaging 5 normally is what you normally play with. If you want to play with a bigger force, if you want to do Napoleonics, if you want to do Civil War, you want to do Arab-Israeli armor, you want to pick up bigger battles. Yeah, boobies will get me to 1,000 subscribers. Not mine, man.
Mine.
Not mine.
All right, here we go.
But
Yeah.
I'm serious. Ask Steve. Didn't that come up yesterday?
what, boobies?
No, I could have swore at some point in time on BSing with the Baron yesterday, somebody said Fistful of Titties.
You did.
Yeah, you.
No, like I heard I thought somebody said it like spoken word, not just me typing it in. Yeah, I typed it in. I'm not going to miss that supplement.
I honestly
You were
don't remember.
offering to kickstart it, so shut up.
Hey, Nat, you gotta rope this in here. You gotta rope this in.
Yeah, it's all busty anime and strapping muscle guys. That makes sense. Who would only find in Japan? Well, there you go. Peter says I like ACW and have read a lot of the histories, but I like way too many things and hobbies to be competent at any of them. I can see where you're going with that, Peter. I get that. You're a jack of all trades, master of none, that type of thing. And Steve says you did.
Tell people you did when they thank you. Oh yeah,
So
yeah, exactly, Steve. I'm just planting that seed for you guys.
anyway, though, but yeah, Jay Wiley's Fistful of Lead is definitely something that has kept me enthused about the hobby.
Accurate.
Because I've said it so many times. Just the core rule book with the right frame of mind, you can play any genre, any historical era, any models. I can't think of a single model I own that I could not come up with a game for Fistful of Lead.
Can confirm.
Um,
And I have a problem.
yeah, I got a problem too. It's called me painting up 2 brigades of armor and infantry for both Egypt and Israel for the 1973 Yom Kippur War
Yeah, because it seemed fun.
in a 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah, it seemed fun.
Yeah. John says, I just claim myself to be about 90% Napoleonic. It's in my blood. Fair enough. I've told the story before about why I'm not a big Napoleonic fan. It goes back to probably the same convention that Jay Wiley was at that got him deciding to make Fistful of Lead. So,
Recruit?
No. Heart of America Historical Miniature Gaming Society used to put on a convention at the old Plumbers Union Hall in Kansas City, just north of Bannister and I-435. And that group then and still is run by a bunch of dill holes. And I don't care if anybody hears me and wants to unsubscribe. I don't care. If you like those people, you can go unsubscribe. They're a bunch of jack monkeys, and they're going to ruin recruits. Besides that,
great group of guys.
yeah. Steve says, okay, fellas, off to bed for this dude. You guys have fun. Thanks for joining us tonight, Steve. Come back anytime. I'm definitely going to be doing this every Wednesday.
And Thursdays.
And Thursdays. Thursdays are probably going to be a little more rambly, more just whatever the hell we're going to talk about, we'll talk about. Wednesdays, though, I'm going to keep being very focused. Well, as focused as I can be, because I'm very much squirrel.
Yeah, as focused as not Jay and I can be, so not super duper.
Yeah. So take care, Steve. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe to all these great channels on here.
Yes.
LBW, Charles.
Yep.
Wardrobe.
Get on
Hex to
YouTube,
Hex.
type in Joey Arnold.
Joey Arnold.
No, Joseph.
Joseph Arnold?
Joseph Arnold. If you
Sorry,
want to
Joseph
get, if
Arnold.
you want to do it, JOSEPH. Yes, go ahead.
Right.
Joseph Arnold, yeah.
Hey, is that him flexing?
I have no idea.
Hey, I've heard that Hex to Hex channel is a Russian bot. You do not want to subscribe to that one.
Yeah, you will definitely get weird Ukrainian goat porn viruses.
Don't tell anyone, but I can illegitimately trace back to Marshall Bernadotte became king of Sweden. His grandson Oscar II and my grandmother, third floor maid. Enough said. Well, there you go.
That's pretty awesome.
I did Model Railroad Society board of directors stuff for 4 years. The whining and conniving spoiled me for the hobby for 10 years, just getting back into it casually. Yeah, model railroaders are very much like hardcore historical war gamers.
You mean old and cranky?
Yes, exactly.
Not a slight against you, Peter, but there's definitely people like that in that hobby as well.
So, Peter, what scale do you railroad in?
What scaling?
I used to railroad in N scale.
N scale's the best, dude.
Yeah, I like it. It's small. It's not too small. It's not too big.
I had my dad's 27 gauge from the 50s.
That's big. Man.
Lionel, yeah.
Yeah. But if I had my choice, I would do N or something if I never did it. But I'm
I used to like HO slot car racing when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
And check out the new In Better Kana's World. Kana's World. Consim World. Okay.
Oh man, yeah. Did you guys see that thing on Consim Marketplace yesterday? It's okay. Neither did I.
Dun, 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 dun. They're talking about something different.
Hey, there's 5 million Joseph Arnolds. What's he do? Is he a bodybuilder?
No, God, no. No, he makes weird ass videos.
I can't find anybody.
Yeah.
Not Jay. I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, yes, I will.
Yes.
Dinosaurs, 1859. She got a one-way ticket from the Stockholm to Chicago. A year's supply of Eskimo pies and some lovely additional parting gifts. Peter says primarily ON3 Colorado narrow gauge and HO Southern Railroad in Georgia. Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I still like N scale.
What scale is that equivalent to in miniature wargaming?
N scale is 1/160th.
Yeah, so it's right at like small 10 mil.
Yes, 9 mil, 10 mil.
I got you.
The reason why it's called N gauge is that it's 9 millimeters between the tracks. HO is half O. So there you go. And then Z is just ridiculous.
TT is smaller. TT is smaller, baby.
Not smaller than Z.
Yeah, it is. Isn't
Sure
it?
about that? No, Z is 1/220th.
Yeah, I thought TT was like micro armor scale.
Peter says.
I don't fucking know. Ask Peter. Peter, what's smaller? What scale is TT?
No, John is not 1/100th. I mean, you can use stuff. You can use in scale stuff for 15 millimeter, which is ostensibly 1/100th.
People do that a lot,
but it's not exact. The wife has some Z scale, and it's 1/220th. TT scale is, I think, halfway between S and N.
Where's my phone? Where's my phone? To the Google machine.
Already on it. 1/120th scale.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
On
Yep.
Z scale, represent narrow gauge around some.
What the hell was I looking? Oh, never mind. I remember what I was looking that up for. Never mind. Yep.
So there you have it. New Japanese TT scale is really freaking small. Old TT was larger.
All right. So how can I? How do I use this?
Yeah, sorry. It's T, just regular T. That's really small. And ZZ is micro scale. It's normal T. That's 1/450. Because that's what I was going to use for 2 or 3 mil stuff. It's just T scale. My bad.
Yeah.
Not TT. Yeah, I'm a dick. I apologize.
See you, Steve.
I
Bye.
take great shame upon my family.
See you, 2 action.
Bye, Steve.
Well,
Take care, buddy.
Peter's saying Japanese TT scale is really freaking small.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's fair. Carl.
Yes. Yes. Gomez Adams was an amazing individual. Yeah. Take care, Steve. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Bye, buddy. Hope you
Um,
figured it out.
So I should pass on this. I can't say how amazing, beyond amazing, monster size layout. I'll post on Discord. Yeah, at one point in time there was a plan to put in a in scale train layout in my bedroom when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So, all right.
First
Well,
wargaming I ever did was on an 8x4 N scale layout.
there you go. Very cool. Oh, excuse me. So, well, gents, we've been rolling, coming up on 2 hours. I want to thank everybody that has joined me tonight. We've averaged 9 to 10 viewers all
Good.
night.
Good comments, though. Good comment stream.
Good back and forth. I truly enjoy the interaction that I have with you guys out there in Texture world. I know you were a little late, McMurray, but thanks for jumping on.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, life happens. It's understandable.
I was playing games, dog.
Hey. you
Again,
gotta do what
hop on
you
the
gotta do, man.
Discord. I'll talk about it on there.
And then Hex, thanks for joining me this evening. Todd, appreciate it. We'll
buddy.
we'll go for a little bit tomorrow night also. So
America.
I'll have to check my calendar.
yeah. Peter says, yeah, sorry, it is T scales 1/450th, 1/480th. To TT was 1/20th. Dave
my
says,
bad.
good evening then. Yes, good evening, sir. You guys take care. Be well.
Dave.
And yeah, if y'all have any suggestions on what you want to hear us talk about,
Yeah, you want to hear us talk about stuff like
Drop
sea
it-
stuff? Like,
drop
you
it
wanna
in
be-
here. Drop it into the Discord, Rocky's Discord, or over on the Rocky's War Room group in Facebook. So until the next time, see you on the flip side.